number 9, you want to be plus or minus 10 years for the year built. If I'm looking at a house that was built in 2012, to be honest, I'm not really looking at anything from 2022 either. A lot of these require a little bit of judgment, and that's the human element here. There's nothing perfect. That's why Zillow's estimates fail, because you can't have a computer comp a property. Because I could put this input into a really intelligent AI and have them comp properties, which is what Zillow's estimates are, and they're just gonna be wrong. So there's like a massive joke amongst realtors and amongst you guys too, I'm sure, that Zillow's estimates are always wrong. I'm sure you guys run into that all the time talking to sellers where they're like, oh, my house is worth this. And it's like, why do you think that? Oh, Zillow told me. And it's like, no, it's not. So plus or minus 10 years year built, but you have to be intelligent about it. So I was just saying, if it was built in 2012, to take plus or minus 10 years. Going down to 2002 makes sense, but going up to brand new 2022 doesn't make sense either. If you're looking at a new property, you're going to want to compare it to new property. So a 2012 house wouldn't get the same value as a 2022 year build. So let's go back in time a little bit. So you're looking at a house built in 1972. You could look at 1962 to 1982. That makes sense, that year frame. Number 10, pool or no pool. I don't get too like hung up on this. If I find a perfect comp and it has a pool, the comp has a pool, but mine doesn't, we'll never add a pool in a flip. I don't know many flippers who will. There's just no ROI or return on investment on adding a pool. Why is that? Because pools only have a $10,000 appraised value add. So meaning a appraiser is going to come in. If you add a pool and it costs you $65,000, the appraiser is going to come in and assume that that's only $10,000 worth of value. And that sucks. So there's no ROI for flippers to add a pool. However, if I'm looking for a comp and I've found the perfect comp, but it has a pool, but mine doesn't, I'm not adding a pool to mine. I'm not going to plan on that during construction. Absolutely not. What I would do is take that close comp that has a pool and subtract $10,000 worth of value, and that would be one of my comps. Try to look for something that doesn't have a pool or does have a pool, depending on your subject property. Like for like, again, all of this is just like for like. That's all comping is, finding like for like. You want to compare oranges to oranges. However, this is so far down in the list because if you do find something that has one or the other and yours does not, you can either add or subtract value $10,000 for whether or not it does or not. Number 11 is something that most people forget, and it's really funny because it happens to me too. Sometimes I'll see a property and I'm like, oh my gosh, look, this is a great comp. And then I'll look at it and it's on almost an acre. You want similar lot size because having more land makes something more valuable. And it's different from market to market, but in Arizona, it makes a massive difference. We're the type of people that we all fence in our yards and we seem to use a lot of it. So if we have more of a yard, it makes a big difference. Now, if you're in a really rural area and everyone just kind of has a ton of land, no one really does anything with it, then maybe it doesn't make as big of a difference to you, but try to find something that's on a similar lot size. And number 12 is something, again, that people forget, whether or not it's in an age-restricted community. So an adult 55 and over, or some adult communities have different age limits, but it's usually 55 and over. You're going to want to make sure that you are comparing like to like. That makes sense. You start with the exact steps. If you aren't finding anything, then you add some modifications. Modifications are in column B, but I would always start with column A and try to find your perfect comp. Will you find 3 perfect ones? Hopefully. Sometimes you won't though.